Dr. Mike.
And I'm Mylisa, and we are...
In the woods and on the water.
And on the water. And we are...
We are human beings.
No, where are we?
Oh, where are we? We are at the Good Life Center.
Which is where?
It's in Harborside, Maine. And this is where Helen and Scott Nearing had their homestead. They moved here quite a few years ago, back in the 50s, and moved from Vermont and lived, I know Scott Nearing lived to 100 years old, actually a little bit over, and Helen lived into her 90s. And they promoted what they call the good life, which was a combination of hard work, good nutrition, and a good mental state of mind.
Living off the land.
Living off the land and not being dependent on...
fossil fuels.
Fossil fuels as well, yeah. So we're going to do a tour of the island here. Or actually, we're on Cape Rozier. It's not really an island, is it? No. And how did we get here?
Boat and then by bicycle.
We brought our bicycles with us on our boat. So Harborside is sort of between... couple towns here. It's near Castine. It's also near Brookville as well. And easily reached by car from Castine. But it's a very interesting cottage here that they built from stone. We'll be going through their garden and hopefully interviewing the people that take care of the place here if they'll let us.
Oh yeah, one just walked by behind you.
Yeah, so anyways, welcome to the Good Life Center and hope you enjoy the show.
Great, here we go.
This is Greg and this is Holly, who are currently the stewards. Is that the correct terminology?
We're the resident stewards for the 2016 season. The Good Life Center brings in a different couple each season to caretake the gardens and the grounds and to maintain the tour schedule that the center has. The center operates as a 501c3 nonprofit, and there's a lot of educational stuff that goes on, and we have tours from Thursday through Monday, 1 to 5. And on Monday, we keep the tradition alive of Helen and Scott Nearing speaker series. They used to do a Monday night meeting and invite the public into their library. And we still do that. And we have 2 of those left for this season. And they start at 7 p.m.
Right. You just can't touch the books.
Can't touch the books.
I remember that part.
Unless,
you can make an appointment.
Unless you make an appointment,
really?
So you can wear gloves.
Because that really impressed me the most with the books. The number of books. Obviously, they were quite avid readers.
Yep.
And tell us a little bit more about their philosophy.
Well, in a nutshell, I would say that they were really committed to distancing themselves from a war economy.
Right.
So they tried to grow as much of their own food as they could.
He was an economist.
Yeah.
Originally.
And he got blacklisted.
Right.
But what they became iconic for is really hard work and experimenting, living off the land in order to maintain their intellectual integrity of not being connected to war.
And they wanted to buy time instead of money.
Instead of working for the machine.
Well, instead of earning money, that was more important for them to live the way that they wanted to live. And one of the things that people really are fascinated by is their rigor in their schedule. They had this 12-hour day that they would organize their time around, which they did 4 hours of bread labor, which would include gardening or building things like the stone walls here.
Which took how many years for them to do the wall around the garden?
Well, the whole site here, which includes an outhouse, a barn, a house, and the wall, and the greenhouse, took 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they were also clearing the land by hand. But so they would do the 4 hours of bread labor, and then they would also do 4 hours of professional development, which included writing. They're both prolific writers, and then 4 hours of responsibility as a citizen. So that would include things like tours and lectures.
Right, and he was very structured.
They both were,
both very structured in terms of their life. And he lived to 100.
Correct.
And then he decided a few months later that he wanted to pass on, and so he stopped eating.
Yeah,
his
we've
health-
been told his health was declining for about 7 months, but he was very vital through his 99th year,
Yes,
and then he started to decline.
he didn't like
So
that.
he was sick, and then at
Yeah.
the end he refused food.
Right.
And Helen also lived to be older. She was
In her
91
90s, that's
and,
right.
and died in a car accident. So
Right.
she probably would have.
Great. So we're going to do a little picture tour of the island, of the homestead, and hope you folks enjoy it. And thank you so much
Yeah,
for your time.
thanks for coming.